Welcome to our honeymoon vlog. We picked Oahu, Hawaii for our honeymoon, and it was such a special trip, we literally cannot wait to go back. We started our journey out of Fort Lauderdale, which is actually one of my preferred airports to fly out of. Then we had a connection in San Francisco before flying into Honolulu. I get so nervous on flights. I was so happy when we finally landed. We rented a Jeep, and it had the steering wheel on the other side, which took a little getting used to. And then we got on the road to Ko Olina. Our first stop on the trip was the Four Seasons Ko Olina, which was such a dream. The room was stunning and so spacious. We loved that we had a tub, and the bed was the comfiest bed I've ever slept on. The view was literally unreal. I couldn't believe the immediate vibes. They had nice seating areas on the balcony, which ended up being such a great place to unwind. For dinner, we went to the Asian-style restaurant on property, and we were pretty tired from our travel day, so we decided to go to bed pretty early this night. The next morning, we woke up early and grabbed a coffee on our balcony. Our first stop was the adults-only pool, which is the most stunning pool I've ever seen. It looks directly over the ocean, and I loved how quiet and tranquil the whole area was. We grabbed some lunch from the pool menu, then went for a swim because the water just looked too good. They brought around a couple rounds of refreshments like gelato, cold towels, and popsicles. Then we got some delicious drinks. We booked a luau for our first evening because it felt like a bucket list item we just had to do. We went with Paradise Cove because it was walking distance from our resort, and I'm so glad we picked this luau. They started us off with a welcome drink, then we got to explore the grounds and check out the view. The seating was all family style in long tables. They had live music, dancing, and demonstrations. The sun started setting, so it was time for dinner. We grabbed some more drinks, then headed to the buffet. The food was actually really good. I loved the Kualoa pork and the ube rolls. The sunset was so stunning, it felt like we were living in a postcard. Once the sun fully set, the show really began, and this was so fun and exciting. The music and costumes really immersed everyone, and they even invited people from the crowd to dance. It was my birthday eve, so when we got back to the hotel, my husband surprised me with a birthday pizza at midnight, which was really funny and unexpected. The next morning, I grabbed an ube latte, and we stopped back at the pool for one more dip before getting on the road to the North Shore. When planning our trip, we wanted to see everything Oahu had to offer. so we decided to stay 2 nights in each area of the island. The road trips were one of my favorite parts. We got to play good music and look at such beautiful scenery. We were staying at the Ritz-Carlton Turtle Bay, and this hotel has one of the most stunning lobbies I've ever seen. It actually takes your breath away. This hotel really went all out and made our stay so special. They had flowers on our bed and a couple different amenities in the room. I really loved the room at this hotel. It wasn't quite as big as the Four Seasons room, but it had a completely different vibe, which was super fun. And the view was amazing. We got to watch surfers from our balcony, which was really cool. We wanted to explore the property, so we walked around a bit before catching the sunset and eating dinner. We celebrated my birthday this night and we got an ube flavored cake, which was delicious. The next morning we had a Jeep tour booked at Kualoa Ranch, which was only a short drive from our hotel. This is one of our favorite memories from the trip. I highly recommend booking some type of experience at Kualoa. You just can't beat the views, and the guides were great. They gave us so much interesting information about what movies were filmed here, and just information on Hawaii's history in general, which was so great. The next day, we were heading back to Honolulu for our final leg of the trip. We stayed at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. It was my husband's birthday, so I decorated the room for him. The best part of this stay was the Friday night fireworks. This was really a core memory for us. We got in the water and watched from there, and it was truly spectacular. Then we grabbed dinner, which was so beautiful. It was right on the water and the waves were so relaxing. The food was so delicious. Our favorite bite was the sausage pizza. It was so good. After that, we went to a speakeasy called Green Lady Cocktail Room, which took us so long to find. Once inside, it was such a vibe and the drinks were really good. The next day was our last day on the island, and we got up early to hike Diamond Head. We don't really hike, so it was somewhat challenging for us, but it was pretty much a steep incline walk, but the views were well worth it. It was so nice to end the trip feeling accomplished and standing on top of the island looking at where we spent our honeymoon together, just from a different perspective. After the hike, we treated ourselves with drinks at a nearby rooftop bar with views of Diamond Head. Then we headed to the Queen Kapolani Hotel, which is a really beautiful boutique hotel right on Waikiki Beach. The lobby was so cute and gave me vintage Hawaii postcard vibes. We had lunch at How Tree, which is right on the beach, and it was such a cute spot for a quick bite. We were so sad to be heading to the airport after this, but we made so many memories.